As somebody that's fairly new to making content and posting it onto YouTube, this is pretty cool to see. I know it's really small, and just to me it's really cool, and I appreciate all of you guys that have, subscribed along the way, because I think what ultimately we're working towards is really cool, and it's able to show you that just about anybody can do this, really, if they have the means. Of course, I understand that aspect, but if you have the drive and the motivation to go out and, put on that side hustle and earn that extra bit of money to be able to put towards an investment account every day. I mean, look, I know $10 also isn't a lot of money to put in the stock market every single day, but over time things add up, and maybe it's not $10 here, maybe it's, oh, you know what, I did a little more than I was expecting, and I'm gonna put 20 this week, and then maybe next week I'm gonna put 10 again, but then the next week I'm gonna put 40. You just never know. It just at least inspires you to get in the market, and start seeing some of those returns. For me personally, I would be putting all my money that I make with Uber right back into the investment account. The only issue, well, it's not an issue by any means whatsoever, but my only caveat is that I'm trying to save for my fiance and I's wedding in addition to investing, so I have to set a certain amount aside before I can just start, putting it towards the investment account, which is fine. But any other, difference that I have to myself from the side hustle of Uber is going straight into the investment account, and hopefully that will allow us to see it grow a lot quicker than, $10 every single day, because that's $70 a week per month. That's about, $300. And over time, of course, like I said, it will add up. But we have a pretty lofty goal, being 110, or not 110, being at 100K. End goal, of course. However, I think one of the cooler big milestones to hit before we hit 100K will be 10K, because at that point we've broken the 5-figure threshold that I mentioned in a previous video, and it just shows us that we can really start to see things kind of take off for ourselves, and I think that that's cool to see. So thanks again for those that have been following along on this journey. I know that it's been about a week since I put together a video, and that was totally on me. I Ubered for sure, and I'll show you guys some of, the earnings that I got. But overall, it was just a really slow week the week before, and it does happen. But what's cool is I'm like looking off in the distance right now, because I have my phone propped up because I was doing Uber before I filmed this clip. At first this week, because it was so slow, I was like, man, I'll be lucky if I make, maybe $100 this week, because I've been averaging about 165 maybe, I think, week after week. So I was only at like $60 come Thursday, but I logged on today, and thanks to that Prop 22, they gave me $91.76 because I didn't meet, the minimum. So there's two ways to look at it. Either like, you don't make enough, so is this really worth it? Or you work less and then they pay you the difference, so you work less, they pay you out. Either way, the money kind of gets made at that minimum threshold, of course. There's tips, but sometimes tips don't make up the whole pie, so to speak. So I never count on those. They're just nice to have as extra cash, so to speak. But having that additional $91.76 for the past maybe week or 2 weeks is huge. And it put me at 170. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been bringing home an additional 160, 170. And that's not to say that, I won't make that probably closer to 200 after the weekend. But it's just cool to see, that, if you really set some time aside and fit it into your schedule, you can make it work. And I can't wait to keep showing you guys the progress, of course, along the way, and to show you how Robinhood and the investments that I've chosen thus far into the adventure are performing. It's just cool to wake up every day and, not necessarily respond emotionally to the market, but see how even having the amount that we have in there currently can really just, fluctuate. Like the other day I woke up and I was just taking a look at the portfolio and saw that we were up by like $60 for that day. Granted, it was partially the surge that we had in cryptocurrency, but still, I mean, it's part of the investment portfolio, and that's not, including the stocks that we have chosen, and those were performing decently. So it's cool to see the results from all of the effort that we've put into it so far, and to just think, a year from now where this portfolio can be. And that's why I'm excited that you guys are right here along in this journey with me. It's, as much as it's just my portfolio personally, it's a testament to, everybody that's watching and everybody that wants to start to get involved. It doesn't take an expert. I'm by no means a financial expert and or advisor. This is a good time to tell you guys that this is all just for educational purpose, but in educating you guys, I hope that you really just kind of see me and use me as an example as to what can happen. I do work a 9-to-5 job, which I really enjoy, and I have investment money set aside from, my salary, but doesn't say that you can't do a side hustle anywhere. It's not interfering with my work whatsoever. I do it after, and I do it on the weekends, and this is perfect for what I'm trying to achieve with the channel and with my own personal goals of just kind of seeing where things can go. So transparently, the past couple of years I haven't fully achieved maxing out my 401k, that too, but I haven't achieved the goal of maxing out my Roth IRA every single year for the past couple of years. So it'll be nice to be able to do that this year for sure, max out my Roth IRA contributions. But then once I'm contributing less than what I am now to my Roth due to me starting late, I'll have that money to be able to throw back into the personal individual account on Robinhood. And that's where I think we'll start to really kind of see things soar exponentially. Because right now, again, we're limited at that $10 entry every single day. But over time, I think we're going to really start to see it take off. Plus, when we start investing in what hopefully are good choices, we'll also start to see that take off. So again, I'm more than happy to be sharing this with you guys. I'm glad that everybody that's here has been watching and has been enjoying, hopefully. And again, I really wanted this to be a community. So if there's any advice for, somebody that may be watching, drop it in the comments. If you have advice for myself, again, I've made it very clear that I'm not an expert, and I'm more than open to positive criticism when it comes to learning the ropes of investing and being a smart investor. So please, let it be known. Let your guys's drop it in the comments below so that way I can read them, respond to you guys, and then everybody else that's clicking on this video can also see the conversations that are occurring, and maybe they'll learn an insight or two, because that's how I've learned a lot of what I am sharing with you guys and what I'm actually doing in my portfolio is just seeing, different comments, different threads online, different advice, different conversations. It's really cool when a community like that is able to come together and form, a positive environment for people to continue learning. I think that's important as this channel goes on, is to really show the power of, helping one another, especially when it comes to investing, because it's not taught everywhere, especially not taught from a young age. Everybody's household is different growing up. And so to be able to educate those that maybe didn't have the opportunity when they were younger, I think would be great. If I learned this or really taken the advice that I had heard a lot sooner, we'd be in a lot different of a boat. But we can't reflect on the past, we just got to work on the future. So again, we will see where this all really goes, and I can't keep reiterating enough how happy I am that we are where we're at right now. And tomorrow I'll probably drop in some of the investments I've made over the week. This was more of just a what's been going on for this week and where I see things kind of going from there. But I'll drop what I have been investing into the market over the past week, because it has been $10 every single day, whether it was $10 exactly, or I didn't do $10 one day, so I did 20 or 30 or whatever, and then I invested that into a particular investment. So we'll detail those tomorrow, but I just wanted to get this out to you guys and show my appreciation in whatever way possible. While again, it may be small for me, it's huge that I even have something like this at my hands and I'm able to chat with you guys about it. So subscribe and leave a like. It really means a lot to me and helps me moving forward what you guys want to keep seeing. So thanks, and I can't wait to keep sharing with you guys.